Porch Podcast.
It's the Porch Podcast.
Yes, sir.
We was in unison right there. I just realized that's something I did on the last one. It's all right. I just realized now he might have messed it up some. Might have messed something up, but it's not bad.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm quite sure that
First, oh shit, I messed it up now. It's your boy, Mr. Influential.
Yeah.
For real. Yeah, I messed up right there. And I'm rocking with my brother.
P Original.
Yo, you ever notice how I sound like a 70s pimp? My brother.
I said that about you before, and you was like, nah, I don't be, like, yeah, I'm telling. Now you can hear it.
Yeah.
It only took, as we forgot to announce and talk about in the last episode, it only took 10 episodes for you to understand it.
Actually, 11, because we're on 11.
We're on 11 now.
Yeah. But I'm just noticing it now, though.
Right.
My brother.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Boogie Nights style.
Yeah. Did you like Boogie Nights? I love that movie, man.
Yeah. I mean, whether I liked it or not, it was, obviously a fan favorite.
Yeah.
A lot of people,
Yeah.
a lot of people enjoyed it.
Yeah. Some people start walking around and calling themselves a young Dirk Diggler.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Those are big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
Anyway, as you can see in the title of the episode here, if you can see it and if you can't because you're listening to it, we're going to be talking about it today. Competitive spark.
Competitive spark. Yeah, competitive spark.
Absolutely. Yeah.
What exactly do you mean?
I mean, the competitive spark, like, it's a difference between, people going to feel different. Sometimes, corrective criticism, or, they may think that you hating, or they may think that you don't believe, but sometimes that competitive spark in you is necessary, to get the next, the next move. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you got to feel like the person doubts you. Honestly, you know what I mean? Because of the fact that, we all come from a show me state.
Right.
Right? We all come from, like I was telling you earlier, Ian, we was talking, like you say all the time, offline or off air.
Yeah.
We were talking before, I said, people always respect, results.
Right.
They always respect results. I'm going to tell you, man, it doesn't matter who you are. I always try to pride myself on being this type of person. Do exactly what you say you're going to do.
Right.
Good, bad, or indifferent. Do exactly what you say you're going to do.
Do what you say and mean what you do.
Right. You know what I mean? So, like.
Mean what you say and do what you say you're going to do.
Right.
Did I say it right? I might have messed up the first time.
I don't know what you. Like, you be your heart's in. Bless his heart. Bless his heart. No.
Hey, you know what somebody told me? To watch the show, they say, yo, you be saying some real stuff, but then your brother be dropping, and then you just bust in with something stupid. And he be like, he let him do it, man. He got to get it out of the system, man. Like this. Hey, man, as everybody know, man, I was the class clown.
Right.
I'm still that silly guy because me laughing gives me good energy, like episode 10.
That's right.
All
That's right. Good cheat.
But competitive spark. Competitive spark.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You gotta say spark like that to make it strong. Competitive spark.
Yeah.
What exactly do you mean by it?
Spark? Well, the competitive spark is that thing inside of you that makes you feel like you have to show a person. Right? So, as if your word wasn't enough. I know we've had conversations before, like, for instance, if you don't have a history or something, right?
Right.
And a person turns around and doubts you.
Right.
The competitive spark that's inside of you clicks on, like, I got to show that person. Right. Even though there's never been any indication that you couldn't do what you said you was going to do.
Show and prove.
Right. So you feel like you're being challenged, which challenge brings competition. Mm-hmm. Hence, competitive spark. It sparks that competition inside of you. Right. So now, all of a sudden, you like full force at, like, I'm going to show them.
Right.
That's where the whole saying came. I'm going to show you better than I can tell you.
Right.
Like, a lot of times, I used to tell jokers all the time, you leave room for a person to control your emotions and your feelings when you don't take that situation as a challenge and totally just diminish anything that they're trying to challenge you on.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So, like you got people that they so good at a joker can convince you. Right. Even though you know all the steps, all the moves, everything that you want to do, right? Right. You got certain people that can turn around and say enough negative things that they convince you that it can't be done.
Not at all.
And extinguish your competitive spark.
Right.
So that's a competitive spark. Just to answer your question, bruh, in terms of what that is, a competitive spark is that thing inside of you that turns around and says, I'm going to show you better than I can tell you.
And that's something that I've been living by for a lot of time, a lot of things in my life. You know what I mean? You know, you just don't want to be doubted.
Right.
You just don't want to be doubted.
Right.
And I could tell you what motivated me in my competitive sport. It wasn't so much more of somebody doubting me.
Mm-hmm.
It was more so about, all right, first of all, every day when I'm going, I don't want to ever be the weak link in anything. I don't want to be known as the weakest guy to do that.
Right.
Right?
Absolutely.
But besides that, what motivated me was being let down sometimes, the expectations. I used to have expectations for certain people. And you ever have expectations for a person to do a certain thing or people to do a certain thing, and then after it doesn't happen, you ask yourself, why did I even think that they was going to do it? They're not known for doing it.
Right. Yeah.
But why did I believe that was going to happen?
Yeah.
And then there's be times when people that's known for doing it, and then they let you down. So I stopped. I don't have expectations for anybody. Mm-hmm. And sometimes when I explain that to people, they get upset with me.
Right. Take it personal.
Yeah, like
you doubting them.
No, not necessarily doubting them. They just like, how do you not have expectation? Because you
okay.
You kind of separate the room for letdown.
Right.
Not necessarily, again, I don't have a plan B.
Right.
But I always have a risk management plan.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. Expectations build for us to count on people for certain things all the time.
Right.
So it's like, okay, say you go, I'm gonna use food. Mm-hmm. Listen, when I want some good pizza, I'm going to Romero's. I don't even know if that exists.
Right. I'm quite sure it does.
Right? And you go to Romero's.
Right.
Every time you go, Romero's always take care of me. Pizza good. Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You go to Romero's one night, pizza ain't the same. We say, man, I was expecting something better, man. Romero's falling off. Right?
Right.
Then you go back again.
Okay.
Romero's is what it usually be.
That's right.
It's good.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, maybe he was having a bad day. Then you go another time. Fell off again.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
And you say, man, they too hit or miss, man. They ain't what I be expecting, man. Mm-hmm. They letting me down. Romero's, man, they held me down for years. They let me down. You know, like Officer Months. They let me down, Goose. Like it's just not. That's how you do it, right?
Right.
But it's because we had them at such high expectation. Mm-hmm. They give us the room. Now they proved that. Mm-hmm. Competitive sport. They showed and proved usually that's what we known for.
Right.
But because so many things can happen in life, it alters it. Yeah. See, the reason why Romero's was always good, they used to have John the cook. John was working there 6 days out the week.
Right.
John is now helping Romero open up a new pizza shop.
Right.
Up North Jersey.
Right. Where I got to compete at now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Where he's working 3 days a week up North Jersey.
Right.
And still do a day or two down in South Jersey.
That's right. Right.
But Bill's pizza doesn't taste like John's.
That's right.
So Romero's, you have such high expectations, they let you down because Bill just can't quite get that extra twist that like John do.
Right. Now, as opposed to it being an analogy for an example, Bill may know that.
Right.
Bill may turn around and say, John, listen, they order all the same material, right? All the same ingredients. Mm-hmm. So if we got the same oven, the same ingredients, same restaurant, all that stuff is the same, then what's different? Right. Well, it's Bill.
Right.
See, the first brother, I forget his name. What'd you say his name? John.
Yeah.
John got that competitive nature, that competitive spark in him, right?
Yeah,
that's like, listen.
Every time I make a pizza, it's got to be good.
It's going to be better than the last one I made.
Right, yeah.
So I can make sure I get more customers in here.
Right.
And guess what the owner turned around and do if it ain't John? They said, we got to send John up top to that other spot.
Right.
Because we done turned around and John got that competitive spark.
Yeah, because we already got
Right.
the people here.
We got them
We
here.
need to reel them in there.
We need John up there because
Yeah.
they got Pisa up there.
Yeah.
But we need that heavy hitter, that
Yeah.
one that got that spark. That's
Right.
like, listen,
Yeah.
they Pisa not better than mine.
Competitive spark.
Okay, that's what that competitive spark.
Right. Right.
Sometimes it's in you, and it's things that's going on around you.
Right.
That even though it's the same for everybody,
Right.
you gotta identify with it inside of you,
Right.
and then use that situation to spark everything else that you're going to do.
Right.
So that's what that is, and that's why, like, even when you turn around, bruh, even as kids, you can have 5 or 6 kids. No smoke. You can turn around and look at them. They're all competing for mommy and daddy's attention.
Exactly.
They learn at a very young age.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm the favorite. We seen that when we was laughing at CNN that night.
Yeah.
When the Cuomo brothers was doing what they was doing. Call mom.
Call
I did
mom.
call mom.
I did call mom.
You know I'm her favorite. No, you're not.
No, you're not.
She didn't say that.
She
She
didn't
did
say
say
that.
that.
She
No,
did say
she
that.
didn't.
Yeah.
And these
And somebody said they know that the sister's really the favorite. or something
right.
Like
See how that is?
Yeah.
But that competitive spark that's inside of them.
Yeah.
I'm on CNN.
Yeah, I'm on. But think about it. That competitive spark put him where? He's on CNN.
Right.
He's the governor.
That's that. You see what I'm saying?
You understand what I'm saying?
It's the importance of understanding and identifying that spark.
That spark. And now that's just
You know what
like,
I mean?
you know, shout out to my quarterback Tom Brady. You know what I mean? I've been a Bucs fan since '99. I want to make that clear to everybody. You know what I mean? I kept thinking it was 2001. Then it dawned on me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I started my job in 2000. I came as a Bucs fan. I just was losing time in my mind because it wasn't, you know, you don't never sit there and always determine,
Right.
you know, what it is. But I was watching something about him the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Brady has been competing his whole career until he became that guy completely. Now, and he can name all the quarterbacks that was drafted before him in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
All the quarterbacks. He didn't get drafted to the 6th round. He was picked 199.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, even in Michigan, because he played for Michigan,
Absolutely.
he was sharing. He came in. He had to fight to get the spot. He was actually like the 6th or 7th quarterback on the team or something like that. Like, he literally had to fight his way, and then before you know, he was the guy. But then even after the season, he led him to 10-6 and all that. It was a quarterback. I can't think of his name. That came. He was from Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
He was like the pride and joy of Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
He came in as a freshman.
Right.
Tom was a junior.
Right.
And they like, why would he still have to battle for this spot
Right.
after everything he did? So they brung him in. They going back and forth, whatever. They was down maybe like 4 touchdowns or something.
Mm-hmm.
So they put Brady in. Brady brung him back, being Brady.
Mm-hmm.
And he kept the job, for then. Even with all of that, when he did the combine, he was one of the slowest quarterbacks there.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't had good footwork, all
Right.
this stuff. So when New England actually drafted him, he still was just a backup for Drew Bledsoe, as we all know this part. But when he seen Robert Kraft, he walked up to him and said, "How you doing, Robert Kraft? I'm Tom Brady. Mr. Kraft, I'm the guy you drafted." You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He said, "I know who you are." He said, "I know who you are." He said, "And I'm here to tell you, I'm going to be the best decision you ever made." Bro, he didn't even get in the game yet.
Mm-hmm.
Told his realtor
Yeah.
before he even got on the team, "Yeah, I want to buy a house here in New England area." He was like, "You got to make the team first." I ain't worried about that. I'm going to make the team.
That's right.
Now he's known as what?
The GOAT. Yeah. Nah. But you just told, and that was a great example, bro.
He's known as the GOAT.
Right? That was a great. And I mean, I know some people going, that's debatable, but I'm not getting involved with all of that. But whoever you feel is, I mean, it is what it is. The man has quite a few accomplishments.
And just to say, before you get to your point real quick, the other person that they usually argue about him being the GOAT actually was his favorite player. I never knew that Joe Montana was his favorite player.
Yeah.
Joe Montana was his favorite player, and he grew, and they kind of was hurt that the 49ers didn't draft him. And and the quarterback that they draft, he ain't last at all.
Yeah.
Go ahead with your point. I'm sorry, I just want to say that.
Nah, it's all good. Nah, I mean, it's a great point that you was making with Tom. He's a great example. That competitive spark, like you said, to have the moxie or whatever you want to refer to it as, to go to the actual owner of the team and say, "I'm gonna be the best decision that you ever made."
Best decision you ever made.
that's because he already knew coming into that dynamic, there was a ton of quarterbacks that was drafted before me.
Right.
Okay, I know what place. Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Chad Pennington might have been like the main one.
Okay. You know, whoever the people were that was that was picked in front of him. They had turned around. He understood that he wanted to make sure that it was known very early on. It ain't where you start, it's where you finish.
Exactly.
And so that competitive spark that was in him, it was always in him, but it was always challenged until he got to the point where he understood that he was going to have to show his greatness.
Right.
And, you know, you can even ask him probably at this day and age that he didn't know, you know, what his level of success was going to be. I mean, he's clearly a person that you can see is totally uncomfortable with losing.
Right.
So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that he's always had it in his mind that winning was the only option. With that being said, the spark that's inside of you is fed by numerous different things, right? Sometimes you don't necessarily have to be in the company of people who are better than you in certain dynamics. Sometimes you just got to be in a room full of people that's sharks. And you got to look at it and say, I don't want to be devoured. Because there's some things in life we already know, bro, it's eat or be eaten. Sometimes you don't have to turn around and develop that mindset that you want to eat somebody. You just have to develop a way how to, you know, they say how to survive in a pool of sharks.
Right.
So the competitive nature in that is to not only stay alive, but to thrive in that dynamic.
Exactly.
And so, you know, the concept of what Tom Brady went through is just a true life testament on why you need to find that spark, make sure you hold on to it, and allow it to energize you to be able to be what you want to be.
You got to keep that light, because a spark is a spark. That's how you, first of all, you got to spark a match or spark your lighter, whatever to do, to light a candle.
Yeah.
To keep the flame going.
Yeah.
So you got to keep that flame going. You got to keep that flame not just going, but glowing.
Yeah.
Like I didn't mean to say it at the time.
Right.
But you understand what I'm saying.
No, absolutely. You got to do
so
that.
basically, it all boils down to what we're talking about is whatever, you know what I mean, is used to give you that competitive spark, to give you that motivation. Find it. Yeah. Now, don't do no demonic dumb shit. Yeah, I got to go choke about 7 people that give me spark. Nah, we ain't saying that.
And don't let your competitive spark get your ass knocked out of nothing too.
Yeah.
You know, you sit there and you get psyched up and you start shadow boxing in the room.
Yeah.
And then you think that you can go into, you know, a boxing gym and just jump in the ring. You get your ass whooped.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you.
Right.
So, you know, don't be foolish. Allow the spark to ignite that will to do, but don't get done in the process.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
don't get it split.
You know, that,
because you think you got a couple dollars.
It's got, you know, one song an episode, man.
Remember we listen, people. Me and P was talking off air, offline, however you want to say it, while we wasn't recording. What is it about, you know, our generation? No matter what race you are or whatever, every now and then you just bust out with a song.
You know what?
And it be something you made up. Like, whenever you hear us say, I got a couple dollars. Whenever you hear that.
It should make you check your pocket.
Right.
Like, do I?
I want y'all to know, me and P was playing golf 2K21.
Yeah.
Video games. We told you, we've been back on our video games, and it's been magical in our life. Right?
Absolutely.
P synced the putt. And out the blue, I heard, I got a couple dollars.
I'm
like, what is that? I don't know. I said, I like
he wants to talk about that because,
he beat me.
Yeah, I've been on the streak for a while with that. He doesn't even play me anymore.
You beat me like 2 games, man. Come on.
He was talking crazy when I had to play with the little made-up computer guy, Danny Dimes or whatever.
Nah, I was calling him Jackie Dime or something. I was calling him.
Doesn't matter. Let's stay on topic.
Yeah.
So,
because you got a couple dollars.
No, but you know what? The competitive spark, like we talking about, it's already there. It's funny because different things make it like ignite it.
And I was going to ask you a question off that, but finish saying. My question is this, and I know I'm sitting here joking about the songs and all that.
Nah, but go ahead.
But do you got a song that you hear for some reason it gives you that competitive feel, like I'm ready to beat the world right now. You got any song that's like that come to mind?
You know what? I can't think. I want to say, is the brother named Mike Knox?
Mike Knox. What song is it?
Back Block.
I ain't even know about that. Young boy joint? New?
Nah, I ain't gonna. I mean, you know, it ain't that new. I mean, it's.
Mike, listen. I want y'all
hopefully, I'm saying the right name. If I'm not, my bad, brother.
Yeah.
But the name of the joint is Back Block. That's that one.
Yeah.
Now, I want to shoot this your way because I'm really interested. Like, all right, let's talk about competitive spark within a relationship. I mean, between, you know, a man and a woman, or you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about a romantic relationship situation. All right, let's talk about that.
Right.
So, do you think that it is okay that if you're in a relationship, that there's competition between you, or, you know, the two that's involved in the relationship?
Long as it don't go as far as Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, long as it don't go that far. Yeah, I think it's cool if you don't allow it to destroy you.
Right.
I'm gonna go into detail. I'm gonna unpack that or what I mean. Some people get into a competitive nature in the streets and the neighborhoods and the things they do for the wrong reasons, and it often ends up to dislike. I'm not even gonna say death. Just not dislike. Cut a person off. They're not dealing with that person, whatever.
Right.
But if you ever pay attention to like where the ultimate competition that we watch, the NFL, the NBA, Major League Baseball, boxing, they understand that that's their job and it's a sport, even though they want to win.
Right.
They get that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, Jordan he beat Barkley all the time, then they go play golf.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Like,
get that. I get it from the sports perspective.
What I'm saying is,
right,
as long as the relationship
Uh-huh.
can keep it the mentality of a sports player.
Okay.
Because some people can get so competitive, like I said, first in the streets where it ends stuff. And in the sports, it doesn't end things.
Okay.
To the point whereas, long as it ain't going to end your relationship, it's fine. Because whenever you're at a competitive state, you're doing your best.
Yeah. That's why I think that
You're doing
honestly,
your best.
it's to me. I'm not saying, all right, don't get me wrong, y'all. Anybody who's listening and watching, I'm not saying to go and compete, you know, in your relationship. I'm not. If that's not something that exists there and you have success, by all means, stick to the script of what's been working.
Right.
My question, the reason why I asked you that is that in relationships, a lot of times what I see is that we're supposed to be representation of each other.
Right.
Right? So if I am a person who is a go-getter,
Right.
driven,
Right.
you know, very passionate about the things that I do,
Right.
you would anticipate those in my, you know, in my household, or at least in my relationship
Right.
between me and my significant other, would be on one accord. Now, personality traits are different, so it may be
Exactly.
showed a little bit differently.
Right.
But, like, there's a difference. Like, I'm the type of person, I can describe myself very easily, right? If my wife presents something to me,
Right.
whether I am fully engaged or understand exactly what she's out to accomplish, we're going to be back to back regardless. I tell her all the time, I don't care if we got to fight a pack of bears, a pack of wolves. I'm with it with you.
That's it.
Right? Now, it may be the same way, vice versa.
That's it.
Right? In that situation,
As long as it always stay like that, yeah.
right. Now, sometimes what happens is that because with every competition, whether you're talking about relationship-wise, or you're talking about sports-wise, or you're talking about business-wise, there is a prize.
Right.
There's a prize.
Right.
Now, in different realms of that situation with your competitive spark, the prize differs.
Okay.
Right? Now, if you're in a relationship and there's a person that you would say is better at controlling finances,
Right.
it takes that person that's actually managing them at a better clip, so to speak, or a better, you know what I mean, better way, to be able to present that to the person who needs help, that I need you to become better at this.
Absolutely.
Not for you to stand by and watch me do or manage this situation, I need you to become better because guess what? If I challenge you and poke at the competitive spark inside of you to be better, we can be tremendous in terms of our strength, and we're not competing against each other.
I just want to say this, and I'm mad enough to say this live on the air. God is real.
Absolutely.
He just spoke to me through you. I'm not going to go into detail.
Right.
We can talk about that off air and offline.
Right.
But I got it. You're absolutely right, bro.
You know what I
You're
mean?
absolutely right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. And because I'm saying this because not just because of what I just said. You clarify what I said about how regardless of what goes on, y'all gonna be back to back fighting a pack of bears, wolves, whatever.
Regardless.
Long as that's always there. And so yes, the competitive spark. Because I'm gonna tell you where I was gonna go with it. I was gonna go with as long as couples remember, because I remember I said this to you before. You know. Sometimes when it's you against, because I've been in competitive situations in relationships where it's you against your partner, and your partner gets so deep to compete against you that it's like F you. Like I'm trying to knock you off your team completely.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where I don't care if I embarrass you. And it's like, wait. Mm-hmm. It's still supposed to be me and you versus everybody.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because even on a team, in a team sport, in practice, they compete against each other. So you're always in practice because technically in practice, you're getting ready for the game.
That's right.
For the game plan.
Right.
The green print.
Right.
The business plan.
That's right.
For the power couple.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying?
You can't be a power couple without the competition.
Right. So I agree with it. But you just spoke to me on something that I see. Okay, I got it. And something with me is as competitive as I am.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to keep a scorecard.
Yeah.
Right? But
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost like LeBron before he had the conversation with D Wayne. D Wade.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He wanted D Wayne. D Wayne. That shit sound crazy.
I knew you was talking about, but that was just funny.
Guess what though?
What?
We talking about people who got a couple dollars, but still.
Mm-hmm. Make it magical.
Yeah, imagine.
Go do your thing.
The funny magician. That's why I left my water at. Yeah, put my water on the side. Put it on the side. Right there. Thanks. Yeah. So. Yeah, don't pour it out. Don't pour it out. Listen. So, but yes, as long as both people can understand that they're always on the same team.
Yeah. You was going to say something about Wade and LeBron's conversation.
No. LeBron, me and you had this conversation. LeBron wanted everybody to like him.
Absolutely.
Now, I'm not saying I want everybody, because I don't care about everybody liking me.
Right.
But I want
it's not going to happen anyway.
I want everybody on my team to like me.
Right. But everybody ain't going to like you anyway. Right.
Until now.
Right.
You know, in a long time, I didn't have a team. Now I do.
Right.
I have a teammate.
Right.
That understands that way. And even times when they would come at me, I'm like, yo, I'm not coming at you. We on the same team. I would always say that. But that was just their way of being able to tell me, all right, I know we on the same team.
Right.
My man, I need you to step up right here.
That's why I say, like.
But you're talking about 25 years versus 3.5. I had to catch on. But God just spoke to you through me.
Well,
through you.
I'm glad that worked out that way. But like you say, like, so just to reiterate on that conversation that me and you were having about when LeBron and D Wade had this conversation. One of the things that from what I understand, what was said is that Wade kind of expressed in some kind of conversation, interview, or somebody that, you know, LeBron wants to be pretty much liked by everyone.
Right.
Right? He wants to be the hero. He wants to be the good guy. He's never wanted to play the villain role.
Right.
Even though physically he's always been a specimen. Somebody who can kind of go in there and
Do what he wants.
do what he want to do and control the game and things like that. So when it came down to the clutch time of the game, the end of the game where somebody needed to take a shot, he often was known as the guy who had all the ability, this big guy, strong, and do all these things, but would pass the ball. So they kind of tried to create a false narrative that he wanted to pass the responsibility. He couldn't handle if he missed a shot and not being viewed as the hero.
Right.
So what Wade told him, and also in a sense, from what I understand, as also looking like the villain to the other guys, Wade explained to him and said, listen, bruh, if that's the case and you want to win championships, I'll be the villain.
Yeah.
See, I'm the one that's willing to put the ice, push the knife through. I'm the one that's ready to take the kill shot. So if you need a villain, you can be the hero. I'll play the villain and don't worry about it.
Right.
From that point on, the LeBron that you see now
Became the villain.
became the villain, became very comfortable in the sense of being able to say, we might be cool, Chris Paul. We might be cool, Melo. But tonight, you're the opposition.
Right.
And after this game, we can go hang out and do what we need to do.
Right.
But we're going to go out here and we're going to compete because that's the competitive nature
That's
inside of it.
and to bring that it was Gilbert Arenas.
Yeah, Agent Zero.
Right? Agent Zero was on a show. He was on Shannon Sharp.
Mm-hmm.
Shannon Sharp, he do his podcast and everything outside of his,
Him and Skip, right?
Yeah. So he was talking to Gilbert Arenas.
Right.
And Gilbert Arenas was talking about how I think they used to go to LeBron's house or go and play cards and do all this type of stuff,
Just
kicking
chilling.
whatever.
Yeah, just kicking it, whatever.
And it was, I can't think of the dude's name. He was playing for Cleveland. And I guess he was saucy in the cards or whatever they was playing. He was saucy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Saucy Biombo. Ragu. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's Ragu. Bowling basket. Shot break version. Yeah, right?
Wow.
Right? Good as hell, though. Good as hell.
Yeah.
All right, so he was saucy in the cards.
Mm-hmm.
So then when Agent Zero and them at the time, he was on the Wizards, right?
Okay. He did play for the
Yeah,
Wizards.
but I think it's when he was on the Wizards.
Okay.
I think they might have been up 1 or the game was tied, whatever.
Okay.
Cleveland playing, they called time. I went to the sideline.
Right.
I think the game was tied. LeBron went over and said, I would just call him bowling basket.
Okay.
Put bowling basket in the game. Right?
Sub in Ragu.
Ragu. They subbed him in. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Get in there.
Come in, right? What is Ragu getting in the game for? Ron did a move, kicked it out. Ragu. Bang, gang winner. Gilbert Arenas looked at him and said, you did that because of what happened to your house. LeBron looked at him like this. he might have been saucy with the cards.
Right. But I'm going to show you when it was time to perform, he was ready to do it.
So, even when people used to think LeBron wanted everybody to like him, he wanted everybody to be, because think about it.
Right.
What player, because we're talking about competition, competitive sport, what player makes everybody better around him?
Right, yeah. Now, you know what happens?
Right.
Okay. You remember back when he was in high school, right?
Right.
All right, so dominance was something he was accustomed to very early on in his life.
Dropped 52 career high in high school in Trenton, New Jersey.
Right, remember he was at the game.
Right.
Dominance is something he's been in. He's already kind of claimed that. He knew he was bigger than everybody else. He's stronger, like all of those things. So you have to create your own challenges. Like when you deal with dominance,
right?
Like with Shaq, Shaq knew he dominated in the paint like that.
Right.
I'm not, trying to get into a basketball.
And he said he's the most
situation.
dominant player ever, and I really agree with a lot with that.
Right. But dominance, once you accomplish that and you conquer that, and you in your mind feel like you're the best at it, your challenges come in different forms.
Right.
And so, going back to the situation with the relationships and why or how it can be healthy and how it can also be, a negative.
Right.
It can be a healthy situation when it encourages a person to identify with the weakness and make a correction to become stronger.
Right.
It can hurt you when you beat a person down so much that they don't understand that they need to make those adjustments in order to be able to be a better teammate.
Right.
And see, that's the difference. 2 MVP, you know what I'm saying? Like when you go from playing something individually.
Preaching, man. You talking to me.
individually, and you both were stars, or star free agents, right? And now you guys got to play together on the same team. Just kind of using that as an example, since we're talking about sports. They on the same team. Now you guys have to learn how to play together, right? Now you know your strengths. Like for instance, a person, you a guard, and you getting ready to get a dominant big man. Now this big man is nasty. He kills. He does everything he needs to do. Protects the paint. Does all those things, right? Here's your first opportunity to play with a true big that's dominant.
Right.
This dominant big, he's looking like I finally get somebody who can get me to rock.
Right.
Point guard that can put me in position to be able to do great things.
Right.
Y'all get together. Y'all both recognize each other's strengths.
Reason why Zoe left the Hornets. But
right. But the challenge becomes, how do we mesh these two strengths together? And sometimes in the develop of that superpower, you find yourself where you're competing against each other when now you're teammates. You don't have to compete against each other. No. You need to find a way to make that work so you can compete against the world.
Right.
And that's why competition, to me,
competitive spark is important.
Competitive spark, and it's healthy in relationships as well.
Right. It's very much so. It's healthy in relationships. I just feel like it's healthy for the simple fact of when you're competing for something that you really want, you're going to go as hard as you can. You're going to do better. It's really just that simple. You're going to do better when you're competing. That's just how it is, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, you could be someplace and you could be sitting there and you could be at a program or something for your kids. They call another person's name, another person's child name, and their parent goes,
"There go my son Merlin."
They don't even say nothing. They just clap, right? They clap. So they call two more names after that. And you just watch. Pay attention to what I'm saying.
Right.
Every name they call from that point on, you're watching and you're building. The anticipation is building for them to get to your child's name. Right. And you done convinced yourself. When they say
my baby name,
I'm going to
lose it.
I'm going to jump up. I'm going to holler. Because at this point, you're proud of your child.
Yeah.
But you know who you competing against right now? That other guy that was over there clapping, just clapping for his.
Yeah.
I'm going to be louder. I'm going to make more noise. I don't care if the shit embarrasses my child.
Right.
But I'm going to do it. See, the competitive side of this is already in this anyway.
That's just like when I went to my kids' basketball game, right?
Right.
The oldest, when she played basketball.
Right.
She was playing, and I know how nonchalant she is, and she like to be, don't put all that attention on me. So I'm like, yeah, good job, go ahead. I'm clapping. Not a little sister.
Oh, no.
Let's go! Yay! Good job! And I know she over there like, I want my sister to shut up, but she don't care.
Yeah.
Cause she gonna say, listen, fuck that. I'm here for her. She gonna know I'm here, and that's what it is.
That's what I'm saying. Like, bruh.
That's what it is.
You ever look at it? All right, check this out. Look at the competitiveness, the difference in between the two competitions, right? Or how the competitive aspect of things work. When you argue with your significant other, it's so much more passionate and it impacts you so much differently. It can sting you different. You can argue with a person that you just like work with.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And you could be like, "Is that really? I don't care about that shit."
Yeah, bruh. That's why every time.
But them passionate, that passionate competition, like, damn, we could have been there. We could have did that. We was half stepping. We ain't put all our energy into it.
Right.
That shit cut different.
Yeah.
But it's vital because I'm telling you, if you master it, oh man, power couple, bro.
Yeah.
Power couple. If nothing else,
Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
If nothing else, it prepares you for challenges in life that would basically consume a person. If you look at most of the time, I can say if I look at most of the times in life, when I went through my greatest challenges,
right,
is when my wife shined the brightest.
Right.
She's always shined, but she shined the brightest.
Yeah.
It's as if to let me know whether I'm content, happy with this situation, sad or upset, But one thing I'm not going to be is not supportive. So if you fighting it, we fight.
We fighting. Yeah.
And we'll figure the rest of everything else out.
And that's the key.
That's why it's necessary.
That's the key, man. It's just like even in that moment of competition and understanding, just let that person know that it's still a we thing.
Right.
That's all you got to do.
Right.
When somebody's fighting, first of all, when somebody's competing with something, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're already fighting with the fact of, am I good enough?
Right. Okay. Very good point.
Right? Am I good enough?
Very good point.
And then, when you have your significant other, if they think they're motivating you, but their way of doing it is beating you down.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It could be simple as, listen, I love you. Mm-hmm. I know you better than this. Mm-hmm. I know you better than this. Right now, you getting your ass whooped. Mm-hmm. I need you to step up. Mm-hmm. But if you in there, man, you sorry as shit, man, get out of here. Like such and such did better. It's like, wait a minute. I know with me, and that's not going to help me.
No.
That's not going, that might make me leave you alone. Because everybody needs that cheerleader.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for a man, his woman is his biggest cheerleader. She should be.
Absolutely.
Some women feel like, I'm not, because if I ride his jock too much and I get on that and stroke his ego too much, he gonna think he got it all. No.
Right.
It's a way that you do a person's strength. Like, all right, for example, you watch the show All American?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I have. I'm not caught up, but I have watched.
So it's just one particular part. Mm-hmm. They had the two of the high school quarterbacks battling for a spot. Mm-hmm. So when the quarterback won the spot, came in,
right,
said, "Thanks, coach." It was like, "Yeah, you proved your point. This should be your job."
Right.
But you got a lot to work on.
Right.
You know, you ain't turning your hip. You ain't stepping into the thing. Your footwork is off. Yeah, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And he was like, by all due respect, did I do anything right? Yeah. You made the right decisions. You did timing, this and that. You know what I mean? And most importantly, I put you under pressure because you were the starting quarterback. I put you under pressure, and you answered to it. Mm-hmm. You responded to pressure. Mm-hmm. I need you to not be so comfortable in your spot. I need you to play every day like it's your last day. So what they did was tell them what they worked on, but also told them what they're great at.
That's right.
And that's a part that a lot of people leave out. Because, see, here's the thing. You got people like myself. I'm going to hear all the good stuff you say. But the one bad thing you say about me,
that's right.
I'm going to work on that. Because this is what I do as a DJ a lot of times. I'm sitting there, I'm rocking, playing my music, doing what I'm doing. People come, hey, you know, ladies to give you a hug. Hey, man, you going and you doing your thing. Yeah, and I'm rocking. And then I sit back and I look and I say, because you learn this, everybody's not a dancer. You got some people ain't gonna never dance. You got some people that seat boppers, right?
Right.
So I'm looking and I say, this one person ain't showing no emotion.
Right.
Because music is one thing that shows all the emotion.
Oh, yeah.
Shows everybody's emotion.
Oh, yeah.
I said, yo, I got to get that person. So now, because I'm not seeing no energy from them, I don't know what they're into. So now I take the fishing pole, throw it in the water. Now I'm beating them. You know what I mean? I laugh because they're going and I'm rocking. And I'm going and rocking. And then all of a sudden you see them move like this. I'm like, yeah. Still playing the music, switch up this and that. Then the first thing happened. Head start going like this. Right? Head start going like this. Then the next thing that happens, right? Foot start bouncing. So now when I see him, then I start seeing him. I won, whether they get up or not.
I like that.
Because that one person ain't move.
Yeah.
And guess what always kill me every single time with those parties?
What's that?
That'd be the one I asked for my business card. Yeah. Because I was doing one time I was doing something with an old folks home. Mm-hmm. Christmas party. But everybody believes that when you do a Christmas party, all they want to hear is Christmas music. Not true. You've been to your holiday parties at your job, but it's a different thing. It was a different thing. But this was at a senior citizens home. Okay. Right? And everybody, you DJ at party since because they had to check. They got to celebrate Christmas too. They had to check.
Yeah, that's usually pretty
good reason, right? Yeah. So anyway, this one lady, she's sitting there, and the whole time she like this,
mean mugging, screw face,
right? And I'm like, my target. Only thing about this lady, she never bopped. She never danced. But I guarantee you this, at the end of the night, when I was done, she came over to me. She said, "Sir, I was having a bad day. But the music that you played just really warmed my heart. It gave me so many memories. Thank you." And gave me a hug. That blew my mind.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That blew my mind.
I can imagine.
Because that competitive sport. I was trying just to get a smile out of the lady. Never got a smile out the lady. Mm-hmm. Never got a bop. I said. So guess what I said? I lost. But guess what? She ended up being my greatest victory. See,
it was a challenge.
I say all that to say, even in all this competitive sport, winning is the only option.
Right.
But we never lose. Because losing is the lesson. So even when I lose,
right,
I win.
I win, exactly. No.
That's it.
Yeah. That's it. That's why I say, man,
That's it.
Identify with those things inside of you, man. Don't ignore those feelings. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we make things questionable because of the fact that we can't see how.
Right.
We can't see the full scope of what it's going to turn into.
Right.
And that's why I always say when you combine matters of the heart with that spark of, competition, that's when you get into those heated debates and those heated arguments.
Right.
You generally are addressing something that you need to address because one way or the other you need to pay attention to it. Mm-hmm. And make some sort of adjustment to it. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of things, man, that I would say just for myself, because I can, like I said, speak on my own behalf, that I think that I was blessed for so long for it to work in a certain way. Right. That I'm at the point now where in my life I realize just how blessed and fortunate I was the entire time. Right. A lot of things that I kind of went back and forth with myself was only me challenging myself.
Because I was about to say this. I was going to say this one thing. Because you know what your biggest competition is, right? Yourself.
Yeah. Just
yourself.
Yeah, and once you kind of conquer that and kind of realize that, that's like sometimes it'll come off like there's an arrogance, there's like I told you before, whether you're talking about Tom Brady, God rest his soul, may rest in peace, Kobe Bryant, or amongst a bunch of others, people may not have, like their, how can I say, their
demeanor, their
demeanor,
style,
if you want to call it arrogance or whatever it is. But once again, they respect results. And results are, what people, kind of tend to go by. So they were born with their spark. I remember jokers was laughing and making a joke about Kobe after Chris Childs had, jumped on him that one game or whatever after they had their little back and forth. It wasn't crazy, but, they were saying that Childs got the best of him, and now,
Kobe was still a high school young boy at the time.
Yeah, still learning, you know what I mean? The next time you seen Kobe on a commercial, he was training, he was boxing and the thing and everything. Yeah. the point in that situation is that where he thought that you thought it was a weakness or a flaw in him, he wanted you to see I'm working on it.
First of all, here's the funny thing.
You know?
I just learned this the other day. Watching a 30 for 30 called Soul Man.
Okay.
But it's soul spelled SOLE. For a sneaker soul. Okay. Kobe actually pulled off the ultimate hustle. Sit back and think about it. Kobe was nasty in college, right? I mean, high school, right? High school. Shoot.
I say you the only one who got a videotape of Kobe in college.
He was nasty in high school, right?
What the hell?
But I want you to remember something.
I'm trying to remember when he was in college.
Was he the number one player in high school? I don't think he was.
Nah.
Right.
That shit was fun.
So they hustle. This is where the ultimate hustle came in at.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a guy named Sonny Vaccaro.
Okay.
Sonny was responsible for getting Michael Jordan to deal with Nike.
Okay.
Okay. Nobody ever really understood who Sonny was. You know, Phil Knight had him as a confidant that always helped things out and helped make. You know, we all know Jordan made the Nike name big.
Right.
So then one day they just fired Sonny. Right? Got rid of him, whatever. So Sonny felt some type of way. Now Adidas wanted to rock with Sonny. Okay? So he started rocking with Adidas, and he knew he had to make a big deal. But before, I'm skipping a big part of the story. Why a lot of players started thinking about going in after high school and all that type of stuff, and it's because Sonny started holding basketball camps and started helping certain colleges and honestly high schools become Nike schools. So like if you balled for Studebaker High and it's a Nike school,
Okay.
I don't care if you the 11th man, you gonna have on Nikes, you gonna have on all that.
Okay.
Right. So you start getting them kids to the Nike schools, start getting them to the camps. And now he started getting high school players deals or get you in the realm of thinking about getting a deal as a high school student. Why would you go to college?
Right.
You would skip right over it. So
Okay.
that's messing with the game somewhat.
Okay.
On top of that, he was also helping college coaches make money. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because they're getting a student they're coming to the camps to see the great kids. They get the kid to come there. Nike's already been putting sneakers on this kid.
Okay.
So it's making everything. So eventually they got rid of him. So with Kobe, they knew his dad.
Okay. Jelly Bean.
They knew Jelly Bean.
Right.
Jelly Bean made the statement, Kobe's thinking about trying to go to the NBA. So Kobe turned around. They moved to New York. I forgot what Sonny and them was from. But moved to New York to come to Philly often to see Kobe play. So it didn't look suspicious in a sense.
Okay.
Right? They end up getting Kobe a workout with the Lakers. Jerry West shut the whole workout down. He is who you say he is. I don't want nobody else to see him. Right? So, when all those, it felt perfect. When all those picks was happening, and they got to 13, and they picked Kobe Bryant, because they was worried about the Nets picking Kobe Bryant. They didn't want him to go to the Nets so bad that they created a rumor. Remember when Kobe was in high school, they were saying he may go play basketball in Italy? They were saying he may go past,
Okay.
He was never going.
Okay.
They didn't want, the Nets was scared if they drafted him, he was going to go to Italy and they would have lost their pick because he didn't have, just because you draft him doesn't mean he has to sign. Right. He wound up getting drafted by Charlotte. They already knew they was going to trade Vlade Divac for Kobe Bryant because that's what happened. That's how he ended up on the Lakers. He got drafted by Charlotte.
Right.
And the moment they did that, Adidas gave him deals for millions. So the sneaker people who set up him lining up his career like that. Same thing happened with LeBron. LeBron would have been signed to Adidas. Sonny Vaccaro told him, "Your number is $100 million." When he had the envelope, he never looked in the envelope but opened the envelope. Adidas didn't have $100 million for LeBron. They had like 60. Nike gave him 90. He went to Nike. Once you take that deal, you can't go to college.
Right. So that's competitive. The competitive nature in that is.
The competitive nature was between Adidas and Nike.
Okay.
To the point that I'm saying this was wrong. We'll knock the whole college game out because we can make a deal with a high school student, but we can't make a deal with a college student.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
Right? And then I forgot my point.
Like, I love you, man. I do, bro. But I didn't know where that shit was going.
I don't know where I was going with it either.
Listen, y'all.
Listen.
Sometimes, like,
Listen.
I know what it is. I can explain it, in my opinion.
I was getting ready to go somewhere. You fucked me up.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't do that.
Yeah,
to
you did.
No, you didn't.
Yeah,
No,
well,
no.
I can say you did.
You were talking about a very good 30 for 30 you saw. And it was on your mind.
Where's the competitive nature at it, ain't it?
I guess the competitive side, from what I understand, from what you was explaining about the whole creating a, false rumor about, him going someplace and with the objective being.
No. What it was is, that's what I'm saying is, that was created to help Kobe get to the NBA.
Okay.
Right? For him to compete, to be even in the realm to be able to compete, that he was better than the first 12 college students that got drafted. That's where I was trying to go.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to go.
Welcome back. Well,
listen, man, before we wrap up the show.
That shit was crazy. I'm like,
Shh, don't do me like that.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. This is the Porch Podcast, man. Let them know where they can find us at since I'm fucking up.
Obviously, you can find us on YouTube, as you can see on the screen right there. Obviously, if you can't see it, it's The Porch, D-A, Porch Podcast on YouTube. You can also listen to us on your favorite podcasts at Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Radio Public. You can also hear us on Spotify, Overcast, Google. I believe it's even Google Podcasts as well. I'm not sure. I believe so. At this point, I don't know. I don't know what the hell's going on. You got us all confused. Listen, y'all, we want to thank y'all for tuning in this week to the Porch Podcast. As always, this episode has been it's been a doozy.
It's been fun.
It's been fun.
Right.
Like I said, man, competitive spark.
Right.
You know what I mean? Get into it, y'all. Hey, thanks for watching.
Man, we
as
out,
always.
man. Listen,
all right, y'all.
P's an Android guy. I'm an iPhone guy. Competitive.
Yeah, competitive spark.
Competitive spark.
All right, y'all.